Okay, I have message for that. Hello everybody, here we are, and finally we could go live right now because throughout the day, first of all, I've been out, and when I came back, at that time there wasn't good internet connectivity, and because of that thing, I couldn't really go live. I mean, this is how it's been going on. But finally, here we are. We can just simply go through the remaining things and let's simply get them done. By the way, I was just simply supposed to be recording it. I still thought that I was facing the network issue, but luckily it turned out to be quite healthy one, and because of that thing we could just simply go live right now. Pretty simple. Oh, hi. I didn't. Why am I turning it off then? Hello, gaming, pro gaming. You have added new as well as pro in your. Do you remember me? What does that mean, bro? First of all, am I live right now or not? Uh, what do you mean by that? Do you remember me? Can you that? I mean, tell that clearly, a bit clearly. That would mean a lot. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? I'm not able to understand. Even if in Hindi, if you can just tell me clearly, that would be great. And meanwhile, let me do one thing. Let me. I am a student. You teach me. Well, I'm also a student actually. I'm myself learning, so it's not like I am a teacher here. I'm learning, but making it public. That's the only difference. So whatever I learn, I come and share in public. That's the only thing I do, and hopefully it's gonna keep going on like this only. And let me do one thing. Gonna be turning the chats are gonna be on if I'm not facing the network issues. Then yeah, I'm not facing the network issue. That simply means chats are gonna be on. You forgot me. You forgot me. Can you tell me your name? As per your username, you are asking me to. I mean, you are expecting me to remember. Give me the name. Swastik. That simply means from Satna. You are the one. Okay, so that's what you were saying. Like, I'm a student. That simply means I'm your student, and you taught me. So yeah, I did taught. I did teach you in Satna. How are you doing? Yeah, glad to know that, bro. How are you doing? And as for the chats, they are gonna be on. Let me just simply open them in my laptop so that I can just simply see the things going on, and then I'll continue with the things. So YouTube Studio, how's your study going on? You must be doing good. I'm glad to know that. Okay, here we are. And by the way, in this particular live, I'm just simply gonna be talking about the Linux commands, Git. I mean, kind of some special Git commands and the virtual machine and all. So this is what we are gonna be discussing about, and hopefully it's gonna be great. Just a minute, let my laptop be ready, and then I'll continue. Come on, yaar, isn't it getting the network connectivity? Okay, fine. The last one. Okay, that's done. Let's get started. By the way, I will be able to see the chats in case you guys just simply text over here. Having said that, I'm gonna be using Vagrant over here. Vagrant is just simply used for creating virtual machines. That's it. So I'm gonna be creating virtual machines. Mainly, I'm gonna be using CentOS or Ubuntu, any one of them. Ultimately, some of the Linux distros they're gonna be used over here. It doesn't matter which one you use. Almost things are gonna be the same. I mean, it's Nam. Well, glad to know that, Swastik. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Coming back to this, what are the things that we are going to be discussing about? These are some of the commands, by the way. Let's do one thing. I have talked about all these commands, like whatever is uncollapsed over here. That simply means that's been discussed. The last thing was the file permission and user permission. I just talked about it offline, so I'm not really going to be talking about it. But if I just talk about these things briefly, so you can give permissions to files. Like there are three groups, not groups. There are three types of category. Ultimately, there is user, there is group, and there is others. So user in the sense the user who created the file, any file that you create. Group, you can create a group, and that group may contain many users in itself, and then you can give the permission to group. So it's like the user who created, that's the user of that particular file. That user has all the permissions by default. You can just simply remove them as well. It's completely up to you. The second thing is the group. You can add many people in the group and then give the permission to the group. So once you give the permission to the group, those permissions are gonna be given to the to all those people. So and you can only be allowed when you have that particular permission. So this is how it just simply goes on. So I hope it's clear. And you can change the owner of that particular file. That can also be possible. So I just talked about ch mode. That simply means you can change the mode, you can change the permission of that particular file, you can change the owner of that particular file. So suppose I created, then you came and changed the owner, you became the owner. So yeah, this is also possible. And lastly, we learned how we can make a particular user being able to do such actions that are only possible to be performed by the user. So okay, these were the things, by the way. Again, I didn't discuss it online, but I did discuss it offline, so I'm not going to be talking about it right now. Probably someday or the other I'm going to be coming back and talking about it. Overall, what happens that you sort of give some permissions to users. I mean, first of all, you create new users, then you give some permissions to those users, and if you give them root level permissions, those users are going to be perform root level actions as well. So it's just like as simple as that. Root level actions in the sense, I mean, if mainly root user is most of the time, not most of the time, always is able to download something from the internet, right? So if you give that permission to the other user, that person will also be able to download the stuff. Again, this is just I'm discussing what without explaining each and everything. Forget about them. If you understood, that's great. If you didn't, leave it. It doesn't really matter. We are not even gonna be talking about this. Especially, I mean, the thing that we have to discuss, that it actually starts from here. So without any further delay, let's simply get going. First of all, let me create a file over here. That's gonna be package management. So we'll see how packages are managed in CentOS first of all. Then we'll see how they are managed in Ubuntu. So we are gonna be talking about both of them. So management. So this is how it's gonna be going on. And let me delete this from here. And what am I gonna do here? First of all, a few links are here. Let me just simply organize it better, and after that I will just simply continue. Before even that, I don't think it's gonna be a good option. So come on, this thing is done. And let me just simply, what all are things here? RPM, okay, that's fine. Let's simply keep it here. So by the way, there are two things. There is a CentOS distro, there is Ubuntu distro. In CentOS, if you want to know about the distro, like in whichever distro you are, Linux machine you are, you can just know more about the machine by going to this particular file over here. Ultimately, if you get this particular file, you will know more about it. RPM QA will simply give you the list of all the packages that you have installed on RPM based distros, and DPKG-L will give you all the packages that are installed in Ubuntu, ultimately Debian based distros. So this is how it just simply goes on. I will talk about all these things more, but before that, yeah, let me keep it here as well. I'm just simply having a look at the things that I have. Package management tools, then we have. So let me do one thing. Let me just keep it here too. And lastly, let me keep this as well. We have services. I'm gonna be talking about them. So first of all, let's start from here. That we have to just see know more about our distro. So what am I gonna do here? Before even knowing more about the distro, I will have to start that. So I'm gonna be starting a CentOS machine here, or ultimately virtual machine. So for that thing, I have to just simply run this command, vagrant up, and that particular virtual machine is going to be started. As simple as that. And this is how things are gonna be going on. Just wait for a while, and things are gonna be done ultimately. And just a sec. Hopefully it's gonna be spinned up really quickly, and after that we will just simply start discussing about the commands that of course are written right now. Just one more probably few more seconds, and then it's gonna be done. Configure any enable network interface, resync folder. Okay, folders are being resynced. It is done. Now you can just simply, you can even check vagrant status. That simply means, well, that command was wrong. Vagrant status. And you should be seeing the status of the virtual machine that is in the running status right now. What is the next thing? The next thing is that vagrant up, not really vagrant up, vagrant SSH. You are able to SSH into the machine because here you have your inside machines, you have your private key. So you have your private SSH key, and because of that thing, you are able to SSH into the machine. As simple as that. So this thing is done. By the way, right now I'm inside the machine, and what should I be doing next? The next thing that needs to be done over here, cat etc os release. So if you go to this particular file, ultimately if you get this particular file, you should be knowing about your machine that you have. So name is the CentOS stream, and ultimately this is CentOS stream 9, and what else? It is real Fedora. So ultimately this is ID like, and ID is the CentOS, and you can just know more about it. I mean, it's no use discussing about it. Just go through it and you will understand. Okay, what is the next thing that we have to do once you have gone through this? As we are working with CentOS over here, so if I run rpm and QA, will just simply give me the list of all the packages that are installed over here. Having said that, you can even know, like suppose I want to know about what, suppose I want to know about Python 3. Is that installed over here? Well, it's gonna be crazy. Hopefully I will find something searchable that I'm aware of, so that I can just simply get that. Okay, let's look for those modules that are installed that are related to Python. Ultimately Python name is there. So in that case, when I ran this command rpm QA, so I got these lines, ultimately the list of all these packages, and from there I want to filter based on Python 3, and that is it. So these are the packages that I have that contains Python 3 in them, and that is it. This is how you just simply go on. This is how you just simply filter. So by the way, in RPM based distros like CentOS, you can just simply run RPM and -QA, and you will be getting the list of all the packages that are installed. Suppose I'm gonna be installing yum. Again, yum is the package manager over here. Yum install, and you can install httpd. Suppose normal user cannot really perform this action unless you specify that this is the root user root command. So you will have to use a sudo over there for that thing. httpd is going to be installed really quick. That's great. That's what we wanted actually. And well, it's not gonna be really quick. Hopefully my internet doesn't drop. Yeah, it doesn't. Hopefully it's gonna be installed soon. I will even be starting std. What the hell? Sorry. That was supposed to be httpd that I want to install, not http. That was a mistake from my side. Yes, so ultimately httpd is going to be installed over here. So easily you can just simply install the things, and once that is installed, then I will be showing you in the list of all the packages over here. ls. And if you now wanna see exactly where is httpd, so you have to run an rpm -QA, and you are gonna be getting the list of all the packages that are installed. Out of them, the recent one is this httpd that I installed right now. Once the httpd is installed, you can just simply run that as well. So system ctl start, because if you want to check the status of the httpd, that is disabled first of all, and that is not running right now. So what do I want? First of all, I want to enable that. So system ctl enable and httpd. That's gonna be, well, it needs password. I think I need to switch to the root user. Access is denied, so sudo I will simply switch me to the root user, and now I'm the root user here. So system ctl, I'm gonna be enabling. First of all, what will happen when it is enabled? Whenever terminal is spinned up, a new terminal is spins up, it will automatically be enabled at that time. I mean, at that time it's gonna be running sort of. So it is enabled right now. So system ctl status and httpd. So ultimately it is enabled right now, and let me just run it. So system ctl start, and I'm gonna be starting httpd. This is how it's gonna be going on. So lastly, let me run one more this command again, system ctl status httpd, and right now it is in the running state. That's great. That's what we wanted. Now as this is running, is it possible if I yeah, so it is running right now, and my local machine's internet, it is just this virtual machine is receiving the internet from my local machine's internet. That simply means if I just quit it here, ls, and if I get the IP address, so IP address find show once I have the IP address, and if I simply take this IP address from here, Control C, and if I paste this IP address on my terminal, not terminal of course, here on the browser, I'm gonna be getting this page over here. That simply means it is working. It is working means HTTP is installed, and HTTPD is running as well. Hence, I'm able to get this particular page over here. As simple as that. That does make sense. Okay, by the way, that's what I wanted to clear. And once this particular thing is done, what do we have to do next? The next thing is that, coming back to this one, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be talking about Ubuntu very soon. In Ubuntu, what you do, dpkg and L. Ultimately, I have my local machine, and my local machine has the Ubuntu. So over here we can just simply test this thing really quick. So on Ubuntu, this is my local machine, and if I want to see all the packages, by the way, if you wanna know, cat etc and os release, and if you actually run over here, so the name is Ubuntu, and version is now this. You can just know more about it, but ultimately we do have Ubuntu machine over here. Once we have the Ubuntu machine, so dpkg and -l is quit it first of all. What was the command? -l was supposed to be giving me the list of all dpkg. Is that the one? Yeah, dpkg -l. Is this the list? Is that so? Yeah, this is sort of the list. That's right, this is the list of all the packages that I have in my Ubuntu machine, so nothing's wrong with that. So yeah, this does work. And then rpm resource telnet. From here I can install telnet. From here I can install Apache, right? So this is nothing but a resource. From here you can just simply install these files, ultimately .html files for different distros. Especially if you want to install it for CentOS 9, you can even get that for it. I mean, get it for that. For example, is this for Apache? Nope, this is not for the CentOS. System is gonna be CentOS. I'm not sure whether I can just simply find it like this, but let's see. Turns out, yeah, we can find it. CentOS 9, and if I'm using CentOS 9, this is the image that we need. This is the file that we actually need for the CentOS 8664. So yeah, it is possible to just simply get it from here. Anyway, this was not the main thing that we were supposed to be discussing. Then we have ARC over here. ARC or uname, and M gives you the architecture of your CPU. So if you want to know about architecture of your CPU, so either run arc or run uname and -m, and that will do the job. Pretty interesting. So let me do one thing. First of all, make it bold, and at the end run this particular command so that I'm able to see the result. So coming back here, ls, if I run arc here, it's gonna be telling me about the architecture of my CPU. So it is 8664. So whenever I'm installing the files, they should be 8664. The architecture of those files should be that only. I can even run uname and -m. That should be giving me the same result. So whether I run arc or I run uname -m, they give me the same result. So this is how we have to go ahead. And then these are the steps. What do these steps do ultimately? RPM, Linux, CentOS, stream, app stream, packages, telnet. So if you want to install telnet, so at that time, using this way, you can install telnet inside your virtual machine. And if you directly try to install telnet, yum install telnet. Do we have it here? I think so. So yum already has telnet, so you don't really need to worry about it. And the another way is that you can directly go here, rpm resource telnet. So ultimately you can just simply search. Anyway, I already have it here, so no need to search, but we could have done that as well. So telnet rpm download. This is how we are gonna be just simply going ahead. RPM resource telnet. From here you should be finding the image of the, I'm not sure what this is, but yeah, you will get something from here. what is this? This is sort of the file, telnet file. By the way, we want for CentOS 9. So for CentOS 9 we want it, and the architecture of the CPU is what? CentOS 9. Okay, we have it here. But the architecture of the CPU, Control F. Okay, this is the one that we need. The architecture was 8664, and that's why this is the file that we need actually here. But the thing is that, am I supposed to be getting the address of it from here? And let's see if I can install it like this. So I have to just simply run curl in this particular command, and hopefully should be installing it. So it is saying what? We need the output as well with the curl. Do we need that? With curl you need the output, or you can just simply install it with wget, and you do not need the output. By the way, with the curl I do need the output. In that case, output is gonna be what? Output is gonna be the same file, and this should be where? It shouldn't be installing here, right? So let me do one thing. ls, am I gonna be installing the file here? Okay, let's do that. Doesn't really matter. Or I can go to cd/temp ls, and here I will be installing it. So for installing it, curl, and this is the command. Output is gonna be the same file name. So ultimately this is gonna be the RPM name, right? So let's simply run this, and hopefully it should be installed here. So right now I have this RPM file over here. The question is what to do next. Okay, RPM IVH telnet. So ultimately once you have the RPM file, so you can just simply install that particular package using IVH. That simply means I stands for install over here, V stands for verbose, that simply means it's gonna be giving more information, H is gonna be human readable format, that simply means the most important part is this I over here. So RPM I, the way you have dpkg I, ultimately in Linux, I mean Ubuntu, what do we have? In Ubuntu, if we actually want to install something, so we run dpkg I stands for install, and ultimately .deb folder, whatever folder you have, right, that particular. And in CentOS, what we do in CentOS, we use something called RPM over here. So RPM, dpkg, I mean they are for the different distros. I stands for install over here. VH are optional if I'm not wrong, and we will make it verbose. That simply means it will give you more information. H will make the response human readable, so that you are easily able to understand. So let's do it. So right now I am on my CentOS machine, and hence I'm gonna be running RPM. I'm gonna be installing. Even if I run this much, it should be fine. If I let's see, telnet. By the way, this is the package that we want to install. If I just simply run this, it is just simply saying that already installed. So that's great. By the way, RPM install IVH and telnet. It is sort of in the better format. First of all, it gave me this particular option here, I mean this particular result, and when I made it in the human readable format, it just formatted it a bit better. That's the only difference. By the way, this is how you just simply go on, and then once you have the telnet, you can just simply run the telnet command, and you should be seeing something. you are inside the telnet terminal, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure how this telnet works. I just simply install this. So as far as this telnet is concerned, we are gonna be exploring this later, but this is how you can just simply get it. And if you wanna get the list, so you can just simply get the list like this. We have already gone through this. And if you wanna erase something, so you can just simply use this command, RPM-E, that is simply gonna be erasing. And this is how we have to just simply go ahead. So ultimately, how many packages we have? If I run RPM QA, it will just simply give you the list of all the packages that you have. And recently I have installed these two. I have installed HTTPD, I have installed telnet. If I want to remove one of them, so I'm just simply gonna say RPM, and E stands for erase over here, and I wanna erase, for example, telnet from here, telnet. And by the way, I need the proper name, so I better just simply copy and paste it over here. If I run this, it's removed hopefully if I run same the command again, rpm QA will just simply give me the list, and yeah, telnet is removed. I have only httpd. Again, if I want to install telnet one more time, so I can even use wget over here. The only difference is that when you are installing something with curl, you need to provide the output exactly where it needs to go. With the wget, you don't need to provide the output. I mean, it will automatically install that thing here. So this was the file that we were trying to install, CentOS system ultimately telnet. Let me copy the address and let me paste it over here. Once done, it should be installing it. So wait for a while, it is already done. So if I run rpm keyway, the telnet is gonna be installed there again. Well, that is not okay. What was the first command that I ran? Just okay. It doesn't mean it is installed. We just have the file over here, and again, this is the file that I got here. So let me remove the first one that I had. Yeah, this one I want to remove, and I'm gonna be renaming the ls. Well, that hasn't been deleted. Remove rf telnet ls. Yeah, that's been deleted. Let me rename it. Ultimately, I have to remove this dot one from the end, and move telnet. And what should be the name? The name should be this. So ultimately, move will just simply rename it again. This is it is just simply saying that this particular file should be renamed this. So let's simply run this. If I say ls, it has been renamed to rpm. What am I gonna be doing now? Pretty simple thing. I'm gonna run rpm. I have to install it, and what I want to install this. So it's been installed. Really? Probably. Let me run rpm QA, will just simply give me the commands, I mean all the packages, and telnet is installed over here. That's fine, it does work. By the way, you can even filter the value. So rpm and QA just simply gives the list of all the packages that are installed. You can just simply filter it. So grep, and I'm gonna filter it based on the name of the telnet. So at the end of the day, you will only be getting that particular file. This is how the Linux commands work and all. Just it's fascinating. I mean, if you learn them once, you are done forever. Okay, by the way, these are the things that we have gone through. The next thing that we were supposed to be discussing, by the way, I have discussed about all these things: arc name, curl, telnet, quit. Ultimately, if you are inside the telnet, so if you run telnet here, so now right now I'm inside the telnet. Now you can click Control C 2 times, probably 1 times, or you write quit. Just quit. In both the cases, you will be just out of that. Again, how telnet is used, I have no idea honestly, but I will be getting to know more about that very soon. It's not going to be taking a lot of time. So this is how mainly you install packages where on CentOS machine, of course RPM based, on Ubuntu, ultimately Debian based distros, you can use dpkg and it will be doing the same job. Having said that, you need to install .dev extensions, I mean types of packages. Going ahead, we have yum over here, ultimately package management tool. So we have etc yum. What is this? Let me just simply go to this. So etc yum dot report this ls. So I have my CentOS repo over here. I have my CentOS add-ons, cat CentOS repo add-ons. So these are sort of the add-ons that we have. Well, we don't really need to worry about them, but yeah, it's good to know about them. ls cat CentOS repo dot repo, yeah. Okay, so this is what I got. So ultimately, this simply gives me the repository of the CentOS. Repository in the sense how many packages and all it contains, if I'm not wrong. But this is not something. I mean, it's good to know about that. It's just like that. Okay, and we have yum search httpd. You can just simply search httpd. First of all, yum is just a package manager, so you can just simply search the name search the package by the name, whether that actually exists or not. If that exists, then you can just simply install that. Yum installs dependencies too, unlike rpm. So the thing is that if you are installing something from rpm, the way we did over here, what we did over here, let me ls I ran the command. Which command I ran earlier? Okay, so I ran this particular command to just simply install. The thing is that it does install that once you have the file, but it doesn't install the dependencies if you have. So you will have to install the dependencies separately. And what is the benefit of using yum? The benefit of using yum is that it installs the dependencies as well. So if you are installing, suppose yum install telnet, if you are installing it directly using yum, so it will automatically install all the dependencies. Having said that, in our case it is already installed, so that is why it is just simply saying that nothing to do over here. Even we have yum install httpd as well, so nothing to worry about here. But yeah, it just simply install the dependencies as well. Similarly, we have something called DNF. Again, this is also a package manager. You can just know more about it. How you can know more about it? Run yum and help. You will see all the commands that we have in yum. Ultimately, how yum can be used. So you have yum alias. You can set the alias. You can check. You can clean. You can install. You can list. You can mark. You can remove. You can. I mean, there's a lot that you can actually do over here. So just run this. If you wanna remove some, suppose I wanna use this particular command, remove a package or packages from your system. It's just used for that. So I'm gonna be saying what? I'm gonna just simply say yum remove. I'm gonna be removing httpd, and of course yes, it's gonna be removed. It's that simple. So even if you don't know that, just run yum and help. You will see all the commands. It has actually many, and just like this. So first one is the alias list or create a command alias. You can create the alias as well. Auto remove all unneeded packages that were originally installed as dependencies. Check for problems in the package DB. Okay, ultimately you have quite a lot, and we can check the history. Ultimately, pretty simple stuff, right? Yum history will give me all the commands that I actually run using yum. And what is the next thing that we can do? Upgrade. We can just simply upgrade, update info, shell, search. We can even search, and ultimately there are a number of things that you can actually do. We'd better just simply stick to the important ones, because these are the commands. This is just the description what it does. So you can just simply run that command. Sorry for that, I made a mistake probably. Now it's fine. And similarly, you can know more about DNF help. If you run DNF help, this is also another package, package manager. You will be knowing about all the commands over here. So the way yum works, the same way this DNF works as well. The way you can install something, you can list something, you can get the info, you can get the history, you can ultimately group display or use the group's information. The same way you can do using DNF as well. So suppose DNF install, first of all DNF list. It is gonna be giving me the list of all the packages that I have, as simple as that. So DNF list gives me all the packages. If I want to filter using telnet name, I can even filter that, and I'm getting these packages over here. So it's pretty simple, right? Similarly, the same command you can do, you can say yum list, and you can just simply filter it again. So you are gonna be getting the result. So sort of DNF and yum, they work the same way. It's completely up to you which one you are gonna be using. They are the package managers. That simply means using them you can install the packages, and this is how they just simply go on. And using DNF, you can even get the histories, like how many commands you ran. So right now I ran just simply these commands. And using DNF, you can just simply install the things as well. So I want to install httpd. So httpd is gonna be installed as well. And this is how things just simply go on. Pretty simple. Again, if you know more about them, just simply run yum -- help or DNF -- help, and you will be knowing more about it. You will automatically be shown all the commands. So yum help. Congratulations, these are the commands. So ultimately, if you just scroll up, you can run these commands, and you will be getting the result. If you actually want to know what they do, so description is also here. What else do you need? Pretty simple. At the end, quit. What have I run? Oh my god, I ran so many commands. It's gonna be crazy. I actually ran so many commands. Okay, that's it. Clear the terminal. Okay, what do we have to do now? We've talked about yum. You can even search whether that exists or not. You can install something using yum. DNF install, another. Yum is one package manager, DNF is another package manager. You can just remove, you can upgrade, you can just know more about them using these commands. You can install Jenkins. It's not available in yum. DNF install epl release by. I'm not sure about what this is. This is definitely a package, but how it's used and all, I have no idea. You can get the list of all the repositories, and you can get the DNF string. So this is how it just simply goes on. Yum repos etc. This is the path of repositories. How it works and all, we will be talking about all these things in future. But ultimately, if you wanna know the all the repositories, so you can go to this particular directory. Ultimately, this is nothing but a folder. Inside this, you have the repositories. And in apt, that simply means in Debian based distros like Ubuntu, you have to go to this particular path and you will be getting that. So let's even check this on my Ubuntu machine. This is the Ubuntu machine right now. I mean, if I go to cd etc / what is that, so apt, let me do one thing, cd etc ls. I have so many things over here. I have to go to apt, and that is well, we have many. So cd, let's simply run apt ls. I'm inside this. We have source list over here. If I just simply cat this source list, so source list, I should be getting cat source list. Ubuntu sources have moved to, okay, it is just simply telling me that Ubuntu sources has actually been moved to this. Earlier it was on the inside this particular one, but right now it's been moved. So we have to go to this particular folder here. So cd sources and ls, and now here you are gonna be getting Ubuntu sources. You have to just simply cat this and you are gonna be getting the result. Again, I'm not gonna be doing that, but yeah, this is just for the knowing purpose. So congratulations, we've gone through package management as well. Simply said, we talked about yum and we talked about DNF over here. And the next thing that we are gonna be discussing about, that is what is going on. Okay. Then systemctl, we've gone through this. I mean, these are just the services, how the services work. You can just simply start something. First of all, get the status. Suppose you install the package, right? Now you're gonna run that package on your system. So how will you be running that? So you can just simply check the status using systemctl status. You can start it, you can restart that, you can reload that as well. If you made some changes, so you can reload that as well. You can reboot, sudo reboot simply reboots your machine. And ultimately systemctl httpd, now it will be running just after boot time. So if you enable it, if something is enabled by default on your Ubuntu machine or on your CentOS machine, so whenever you start your machine, that will be started automatically. So it's sort of start on boot or something, and then you can get the status of that. So if this service services happens to be stopped, so if this service, come on here, what an English, happens to be stopped, we won't be able to SSH. So there is a service called this. If it is stopped, then you will not be able to SSH into the machine. This is on by default anyway. And then we have systemctl is active httpd. We can check whether it is active or not, and we can check whether this is enabled or not. Cat, and then we can just simply configuration automatically created when installed. So this is just the configuration. So etc system multi-user target once, and if you go to this one, you will be getting the configuration that automatically gets created. So let's do all these things in action. Ultimately, that would be amazing, because just by talking, nothing's gonna happen over here. So we are talking about mainly services over here. Pretty simple. Let me delete this. Why am I discussing it? Because it is important. I'd better know more about the Linux and all. So that is why I'm just simply regrowing through them. So just learning is not enough. It's better to just simply talk about them and all. And that is what I'm doing here. Alrighty, so these are the commands that we have to just simply talk about. So first of all, let's see whether we have vagrant user ls. I wanna see whether I have httpd installed and all. So rpm, or I can just simply say yum list, will just simply give, not really this. Yeah, it should be working. What is the problem? Do I have to run sudo? Yeah, so sudo yum list simply gives me the list of all the packages. Now I have to check whether I have httpd over here. So I'm gonna be filtering it based on httpd, and we do have them. And this is the package that I have here. Once I have the httpd, so systemctl status httpd, that is not running right now. That's great. We can enable it first of all. So systemctl enable httpd, so that it, well, I need to be the root user first of all. So sudo I systemctl enable httpd. It is enabled right now. Once it is enabled, systemctl, you can check the status first of all, I think directly httpd. So this is how you can just simply check the status. Apart from this particular thing, systemctl is active. You can just simply check the active status of this. It is active. Command not found. Ultimately the spelling is wrong over here, so it should be systemctl is active. So you are gonna the result is inactive. That simply means httpd is not running. So systemctl is enabled. Let me see if it is enabled or not. httpd is enabled. Okay, it is enabled but it is inactive. So systemctl start httpd, it started. If I run systemctl is active httpd, I'm gonna be getting active over here. That simply means it has started. Hence if I run systemctl start, not really start, status of httpd, I'm gonna be seeing it in the running state. Alrighty, so this is the thing that we have gone through. And almost there are few more commands as well, like you can restart this. So you can just simply say systemctl restart and httpd, it will be just simply restarting. By the way, why am I making the mistake again? Systemctl, you can restart this, so it will be restarting. Or if you don't want to restart, you can just simply reload this, so it will be reloading. And if you want to know more about it, exactly how many commands you have to run systemctl help, and you are gonna be seeing all the things that you can actually do with this. So what all you can do, you can check whether it is active or not, you can check whether it is failed or not, you can check the status, you can show the patterns, you can start it, you can stop it, you can reload it, you can restart it, you can try restart this. Ultimately that's a lot, right? So you can just simply go through them. This is how it just simply goes on. So we've gone through this. The last thing that I wanted to know more about, that is this. So let's see exactly what's inside this. So what do we get over here? We just simply get the configuration of httpd. This is actually automatically created, so you don't really need to worry about it. So it is inside a etc systemmd system multi-user target wants httpd service. So this is how it just simply goes on. So we have sort of talked about the services as well. Okay, then we have we can know more about the processes that are running right now, and once we have known about the processes, we can even stop them. Okay, there are a few more things that are remaining right now, and what time is it? 9:26. So let's do one thing. Ultimately we have a few more commands over here, process, and all the things belong to the process section as well. So let me, services is done sort of, so we don't really need to worry about this. ps2 processage. Ultimately these commands are going to be useful when you are working with the processage in Ubuntu. CentOS or in Ubuntu, it's going to be working with both. So this thing is done, and few more things that I have that I'm just simply gonna be sort of copying at least this much. Let me keep it here, and let's talk about the things that are here. And once we have talked about this, probably we are going to be talking about the remaining things as well, or we'll call it here. I mean, any of the things are going to be happening. So first of all, we have top, pretty simple. If you actually want to know about the ls run top, you are going to be seeing all the processes that are actually running right now. And once this is done, then there's another thing as well. You can run http htop actually. Well, you will actually have to install it if I'm not wrong. And you have something called psox process status ox. I think it even does the same thing. It just simply gives you the process that are running. And process ef, I'm not sure about this actually. You can just simply kill it. You can kill it forcefully as well. So this is how it goes. How about psef? So ultimately they are the same. So either you run, ultimately when you run the top, you get the commands like this. You can get the some more information here at the top related to the processes and all. And then you can run something called ps-aux. You are gonna be getting process status aux. What have I done? Alrighty, so what I was saying, you can just simply run ps-aux and you are gonna be getting all the processes that are running. You can even see whether HTTPD is running or not, so you can just simply filter it based on HTTPD name, and you are gonna be getting the processes that are related to the HTTPD. So this is how you can just simply go ahead. We probably be talking about more about these things, but okay, let's not worry about it right now. So we have HTTPD requests, I mean processes that are running, and what else? You can run ps and ef. You will be just simply knowing about the same commands. So they are just the different ways you can even filter the values. So great. And I wanna know about HTTPD commands that are running. So yeah, this is how I'm just simply gonna be getting the results. So these are the HTTPD processes that are running right now, and we can just simply kill them. Killing them in the sense, right now this is the root process that is running, and this root process started all these ones. So the top ones where D4 ground is written, ultimately they've been started by this root process. So ultimately if you actually have a look over here, so this is the what can I name it, 73187, and just a sec. Ultimately this is the status, I mean this is the first process. So this is started first of all, and once this particular process started, so the ID first of all, one is the, let me do one thing, let me even make it clear. Let me run top over here. So what all we have here when I run the top, so we have PID and we have I should have one more ID here. So we have the process ID. Apart from this particular process ID, we should have the user ID or something. How am I supposed to be checking this? We have process ID and there is one more ID. I'm forgetting that. Okay, let's forget about this. Can I check it from here? So we have the process ID and we have some other ID. So kill 9 command to stop the process forcefully. Kill PID is to stop process gracefully. Child process also will be stopped if parent process is stopped gracefully. Okay, that's fine. But I didn't really come to know about the name. If I run ps-aux, okay, so if I go to the top, okay, here are the names. We don't really need to worry about the names as well. We already have the names mentioned at the top. So here we are. So the first one that I actually have, that is the process ID, and apart from the process ID, ps-aux, right? What else do we have? Yeah, sort of, we only get the process ID. So if I just simply run this command, ps-aux, and I'm gonna be filtering it based on the HTTPD. So these are the processes that are running. This process ultimately we have, what do we have here? Just a sec. Nope, not this one. So if I just run ps-ef, it will be giving me more information. Grep HTTPD. Yeah, there is a difference between the result, like between this result and this result. So what am I getting here? This is the kind of first process ID that was given by the machine itself, and then my main HTTPD started running on this particular process ID. This, I mean, first of all, machine started that, so kind of that's the ID, process ID of the machine that is running, if I'm not wrong. By the way, you'd better just know more about that. And then my process started running on this, and this process kind of started all the remaining ones. So that is why this is the base process. Yeah, this is how I can call it. So this was the base process ID. This I started my HTTPD. So the HTTPD had 7006 process ID, and then this particular HTTPD process started all the remaining ones, and that is why the base is 7006. And this got this ID, this got this ID, this got this ID, this got this ID, but ultimately the base process ID always remains the same. So if the base process ID is the same, that simply means that is triggering the others. Okay, so it just simply goes on like this. So we have gone through this as well, and there are few things here. First of all, you have kill PID, that simply means gonna be killing a process ID. If you kill, if you run just simply this kill NPID, it's gonna be killing the process ID, and if there are some children IDs, I mean children processes as well, it's just simply gonna be killing them. And if you wanna kill forcefully, so you can just simply run this particular command, kill a -9 and the process ID. It will just simply be able to kill the that is called parent ID, parent process. It will not be able to kill the child processes, so you have to just simply keep that in mind. There are some awk is used mainly for should I go with this? I will be talking about it tomorrow, not now. So this is the thing that I'm skipping, and then we have tar, like exactly how you can sort of zip the files and unzip the files. You can use these commands. Again, this thing is gonna be discussed tomorrow. And lastly, we have the Ubuntu commands, and that's it. The job will be done. So few more things are remaining that are yet to be discussed tomorrow. We are gonna be starting from here, because this is the command. What we are doing, first of all, we are getting the PSEF. So ultimately I'm gonna be getting all the processes that are running. Then I'm filtering them based on grep. Once they are filtered, and then I'm filtering them again, but this time I will not be getting, V stands for not getting, that right? So I will not be getting if something contains space and grep, and then I'm filtering it again, and I'm getting the second column, and then I'm killing all of them. That's crazy. Let's do it. By the way, I just want to do it anyway. Okay, if you run kill, I mean if you just simply kill it, these are the processes that are running, and this is the parent process. So if you just simply stop the parent process, so if I say just simply kill and this particular process, so what you are actually doing over here, you are just simply killing the process gracefully. So once you are killing the main parent process gracefully, so other children process will be stopped automatically. So if I run this, so that must have been killed, and that simply means if I run this command, I have only this particular HTTPD. So all the parent and children, they have been stopped, only this one is running right now, and I should be able to kill this as well. This is just the new HTTPD, HTTPD process that has started, because all the previous ones, they've been stopped. And if I just kill this too, so kill and this particular one as well, no such process is running. Okay, that was just the caching one, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, ultimately we have it here, but it is just a new one that is just visible over here. All the parent and children, they've been stopped. What is the next thing? I can start it again. So systemctl start, and I'm gonna be starting HTTPD. Once it is started, if I run this command, I'm gonna be getting it again. Now if I kill the parent process, so this is the parent process that I have. If I kill it forcefully, so kill, for killing it forcefully, I'm gonna be using -9 over here and the ID of it. So what will happen? The parent process will be killed forcefully, but because I'm killing forcefully over here, what will happen? These four I'm talking about, this one will still be running. So let's forget about this. These four ones are gonna be stopped. So the ones that whose the username is sort of Apache over here, they are gonna be stopped. So if I just simply run, and if I just simply say PSEF, it will give me all the processes that are running, and then I'm gonna be filtering based on HTTPD name. So right now I don't have any. This one was the root one, the default one that was already running. All the the parent and the children, they got stopped. Okay, so this is how it sort of worked. Oh yeah, it did. I stopped the root process, but even the children one got stopped. Interesting. Never expected this thing to happen, but okay, interesting thing. If I run it again, systemctl start HTTPD, I think children ones are also getting stopped. Let me see one more time. PSEF, grep and HTTPD. These are the processes that are running right now. What am I gonna be doing? I'm gonna be stopping the root process. So for that thing, kill, I'm gonna be killing it forcefully. So -9 and this particular process ID. If I run this, and if I try to run the same command, so all of them have been stopped. So okay, don't worry, it does work. And you can even stop the parent process and the children process at the same time. and let's see exactly what this command does here. So let me restart it one more time really quickly. This one, it has started. Let me get them. So these are the processes running. What is the command? First of all, psef, it gives me the list of all the commands that are all the processes that are running, and then I'm gonna be filtering it. So I'm gonna be filtering the result based on httpd. So these are the processes that I got. What is the next thing? The next thing is that I'm gonna be getting everything that doesn't contain grep. I'm gonna get everything that doesn't contain grep. So grep v, that simply means it doesn't include, and I'm gonna be getting what? I'm gonna be getting everything that doesn't include this. So I got what? I got these. This is the result that I got. Why? Ultimately the last one, that is something I'm not getting. The question is that what's special in this command? So v doesn't include, that simply means if I say ps ef and httpd, sorry, grep httpd, so I'm gonna be getting the ones that has httpd in them. But if I use -v over here, I will be getting others. I will not be getting httpd. That simply means this command that I had here. So first of all, I had all the processes, then I removed something that has space grep in them. Okay, so did something have that space grep? No. Oh yeah, wow, amazing. I didn't mention that the last one has a great word in that. So even if I don't use this, like even if I just say it like this, psef grep, I'm gonna be filtering it based on httpd, and then I'm gonna be filtering it again based, I don't want the last one, and for that thing I can say something that has this grep word in them. So it's gonna be sort of like this. I can even just write this grep word here, and that should be doing the job. And yeah, it does the job. And then once I have filtered this, this last grep that I have, this is nothing but a word. So let me add like this. It's gonna be giving me the same result. Once I have it, then what am I gonna be doing? I want to filter it based on what? How did I filter it over here? Ultimately, I just simply mentioned that I want the second column. So what is the second column over here? First column, second column. Ultimately, I want all the numbers. So using awk, it's pretty simple. I can easily get the second column. So print, what is the command anyway? Just like this, I'm gonna be printing. What am I gonna be printing? I'm gonna be printing second column. And let's see, am I gonna be getting the second column? Yes. Similarly, I should be able to get the first column. Yes. I should be able to get the second, okay, third column, okay, and fourth column, okay. So it turns out, yeah, we are able to get. So first of all, we got all the processes, then the result got forwarded here using this pipeline. I filtered it using httpd, then result got forwarded. I removed the process that had grep word in that. So ultimately, I had only the ones that has httpd and without grep. And then I got the second column. So for getting the second column, I used awk over here, and I got the second column like this. Is there any another way to get the second column? First of all, I'm using awk over here. Second was def and d, and what was the command? I did have another one as well. User commands, where did I have that? Should be getting it here. That's really the important one. Common, and that should be at the top. Normal commands, grep, okay, just below grep. So over here I have awk. First of all, this was the filter. Well, we don't really have any filter over here. We can directly get the column. And same we should be able to get using cut. We do not really have any filter over here, so no need to use -d, and no need to use -f in awk. we are directly able to get the column. That simply means using df, that is actually cut. So I was able to get the second column using $2 over here. So ultimately awk, I'm not filtering anything, I'm directly getting the second column. It is giving me the second column. Same second column I should be able to get using cut. So cut, and what do I want to cut? I want to cut the second column. So F2. Well, am I missing something? Hyphen F1. Okay. It just simply gives me everything. Not able to. Hyphen D F2. Nope. Ultimately awk is working here, that is it, nothing else. It is unable to filter for some reason. Awk was able to filter, it is not able to filter. Okay, never mind. As it is unable to filter, I'm just simply gonna be using awk over here. Awk. And what I want? I want the second column, of course. So print $2. Well, I need to wrap it with this, and now it should be working. So I'm getting the second column. Once I got the second column, I'm just simply gonna be killing them all. And for killing them all, what was the command? The command was pretty simple. That was x args kill 9. So this thing. Then the last command is x args kill, and it's gonna be killing all the processes forcefully. Let's simply run this. Well, that's wrong. X args. This one should args, right? This one, and it has killed all of them. That simply means if I run psef and grep httpd, I should not be getting. Yeah, I'm not getting. This one was the default one that was already running, so no need to worry about it. So pretty interesting. We have even gone through them. We don't really need to worry about it. So that's great. And let's get rid of it. It doesn't really work that way. And this thing is done. And then there are a few more things that I'm of course gonna be discussing about all those things tomorrow. It's already more. It's sort of enough that we've covered. Few more things are remaining that are gonna be covered later. So that was it for now. I'm gonna be discussing about the remaining commands very soon. That's actually quite a lot. So even tomorrow I will not be learning anything new. Rather I will be talking about the things that I have covered previously. And this is how things are gonna be going ahead. So let's see how it's gonna be going on. It's all about, if you're learning something, you should know that well, and that is it. No use learning a lot of things and not able to do the things. So it's better learn less and just do more so that you know more. Ultimately, you know what you know and you don't know what you don't know. So ultimately this is how it just simply goes on. That was it. Now I'm going to be catching up tomorrow. We will be just simply covering all the things. Actually not this much only. We have quite a lot of things. We have to talk about these git commands. They are the most important ones. Like they are not the normal git commands, some kind of advanced you can say. But I still have to talk about these, and once this particular thing is done, then I have to talk about the vagrant, how you can configure the vagrant machine, how you can write the vagrant file, how you can configure the things and all, and then how you can even run suppose HTML file inside a virtual machine. So we have to talk about all these things. That's actually a lot. Hopefully tomorrow it's gonna be done, and then we can just simply continue learning. So that was it. I'm gonna be catching up soon. Until then, take care, bye bye, and see you.